Welcome to the Random-esque podcast with your hosts, Dr. Paul Banks and Jim Mooney. And remember, always stay random-esque.
What's up, randommies? Yes, welcome to the Random-esque podcast, where we say, always stay random-esque. Hey, we're your hosts, Jim and Paul. Hey, Paul, we're back out in the wild. They let us out. Woo!
Wild's a great place.
Yeah.
Did your parole officer let you out today?
They did. Yeah, pretty nice, right?
That's good.
Good. That's why we're wearing this stuff, Anyway, now we're here visiting the Greater Westfield Area Chamber of Commerce, where their charge is to promote commerce and community. And guess what, Paul? Guess what? I am also the president of the chamber as well. Yes.
And I knew that. I heard you were getting impeached.
No, I'm not getting impeached, but I'm not only a member, I'm president as well.
I
so
know.
There you go.
That's awesome. It really is.
So we have 3 topics of conversation today. First, guys like us like to watch old classic films over and over. That's what we do, right? And then we like to quote them out in public. So we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about, so what are our go-to quotable film lines? The next conversation we're going to have is with Faith Delaney, who will be with us today. Woohoo! Who is the Assistant Executive Director for the Greater Westfield Area Chamber of Commerce. And then, we didn't just live in Philly, the two of us. We've lived in other places. So we want to discuss those towns, the culture of those places, and, the regional differences that we see between, growing up in Philly and living in those places. So, and again, we'd like to thank the Greater Westfield Area Chamber of Commerce for hosting us this afternoon in their beautiful offices here in downtown Westfield, New Jersey.
In beautiful downtown Westfield.
It's beautiful. Yes, it is. Hey, Paulie, guess what?
I'm dying here.
What? What do you mean?
Well, what do you want me to guess?
Okay, well, guess what? We have a new segment.
Seriously?
Yeah, we do. We have a new segment. We're getting so much viewer mail coming into our central facility in Northeast Philly at Grant and the Boulevard that we decided to answer that viewer mail right here on the show. And you can see I'm dressed like a postal worker here. And we have a new segment that we're calling simply
Yo Paulie!
Yo Paulie. So send in your viewer mail and we'll answer it here on the podcast.
By the way, you're looking pretty fashionable with that outfit.
Thank you. I picked it out personally. I thought you might like it.
I like it.
Yeah, I do. Anyway, let's get into the viewer mail. So, our first Yo Paulie. Yo Paulie, can you settle, as you guys call it on Random-esque, a regional lingo nuance? My friend in Philly says, down the shore. I say, ain't it technically across the shore from Philly? Since we don't go up to any of those, northern Jersey shores, can you give me a verdict on this, Paulie? Signed, suntanning up on the roof in Philly.
Dear suntanning, well, if your objective is to go across the shore, then you'd be sitting on those beautiful muddy beaches of the Delaware River.
I wouldn't recommend that, no.
However, if you draw an X and Y axis, then the Y-axis will take you all the way down.
We might need a protractor. Shore. We might need a Random-esque protractor now for this show.
We may.
That may be a new merch item.
It should. But no. The Jersey Shore is definitely.
I need a slide rule now.
It's definitely.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was going to say a protractor won't get you there.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to throw something out. That I learned in grade school.
Mean, we can use a compass as well.
Yeah, we could do that.
So no, you have to head down the shore.
Down the shore.
So
that's your verdict.
That's
my. the ruling is down the shore.
And suntanning, I'm just going to give you some advice. It's not too bright to suntan on the roof.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. That leads into our next Yo Paulie. Yo Paulie, is tap water safe to drink, or should I just stick my head in the skookle and hope for the best? H2O craze Carl from Roxborough.
Well, H2O craze Carl, you're always taking the chance. If you duck your head in the skookle, you may drown.
Yeah, I would not recommend that.
Or you may pick up someone's garbage.
Yeah. You might also get, hit by one of those crew boats, too, going down the skookle.
That's true.
During the dad veils,
That's true. And however, drinking from a hose, I mean, I spent more times drinking from a hose than I did drink from the skookle. And I think I'm all right.
You don't have a third arm or anything.
I do not have a third arm.
You're not glowing or anything.
I have the normal amount of appendages everywhere.
Whoa.
No, I meant ears, toes.
Okay, got you.
And my advice, go to Wawa, get some bottled water,
Wawa,
go to Hoagie and chill.
Water. Wawa, Hoagie.
And maybe pick up some Jimmies.
Maybe it's Hoagie Fest over there too. Get yourself a shorty. Anyway, thank you, Paulie. Our final Yo Paulie. I know that you participate in 5Ks and stuff like that. I think you're at one coming up with that barbecue thingy. Cool.
Is running the 5K necessary, or can I just hang out
at the barbecue?
Yeah.
Oh no, you can absolutely do whatever you want at the barbecue.
I think I'm going to hang with you while you cook. I can taste the food.
You want to hang with Ray and I and cook, and as Ray likes to say, insults are free. So we're going to be meeting them on a future show as well.
Yeah, I think I'm going to hang and have some food.
Anyway, we digress. So let's get back to the topic here, Paulie. We need to answer this burning question or thought that this viewer has. And he says, well, Paulie, what if we did one number and one letter better than a 5K? And we did what we would call a 6L. And get this, Paulie. Here's the kicker. The running route, or route, depending on where you're from, is the Frankfurt Market L line in Philly from Bridge and Pratt to Fifth and Market. What do you think of that, Paulie? Signed, I put the L in running a race.
Yeah, I think that would be a really difficult race. First of all,
you should address Mr. L first, okay? Come on, be polite.
I am sorry, Mr. L. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. Get it?
Train of thought. Got you.
So I think that would be a difficult run. First of all, you'd have to dodge so much garbage.
You think so?
Yeah.
What, underneath the elevated there?
And syringes and
syringes, yeah.
And the thing is, the key.
You're probably right.
The key to running a race, a long race, well, relatively long, is pace. You have to pace yourself. And when you're at Bridge and Pratt, and I think they changed it. I don't even think it's Margaret Orthodox anymore. They've changed the names of those stations. But anyway,
it's not Bridge and Pratt anymore?
No.
I used to take the 20 bus to Bridge and Pratt to
the
Fifth
20
and
that went to Knights Road.
Yeah. I took it out on Academy Road, but
right.
Yeah.
Right, so
same thing.
Right. So anyway, the key is to pace yourself, and there's absolutely no way you can pace yourself as you're going through Kensington. You got to have all your jets on to get out of that neighborhood. So I'm thinking that's not a great idea. But, however, what about dodging traffic with the Ben Franklin Parkway?
Yeah, that would be good. That'd be like a giant Frogger, right?
Yeah. So speaking of Frogger, what were your favorite arcade games?
Oh, we're going into another random topic here.
Well, you know me, I'm Dr. Tangent.
Well, definitely my favorite one was Galaga. But beyond that, that's the arcade one. What I really, really love is pinball. Pinball came first to me, and it was like 8 Ball Deluxe or the different pinball machines that we would play growing up.
I had, Galaga is...
Pinbot was one of them, and then Escape from Mars is a more futuresque one that's got like holograms and 3D things going on and kind of craziness, kind of like you, craziness.
Now, Galaga was my favorite arcade game. My favorite pinball games were Knight Rider.
Oh, I don't think I played Knight
and
Rider.
Captain Fantastic.
Oh yeah, Elton John's. Yeah.
Yeah, those are my two favorite pinball games.
In fact, when I was in high school at Archbishop Ryan High School for Boys, we had two pinball machines. We had a KISS machine, and we had Paragon. I usually played Paragon because KISS was almost impossible to get on during lunch. And then two songs played in our jukebox in the cafeteria: "Long Live Rock" and "The Dream Police." Those two songs are etched in my mind forever, every single day.
Classic songs.
Yeah. So anyway. So thank you, Mr. L, for sending in that burning idea, and maybe Paulie will think about it a little more.
They were some really good questions.
Yeah, we have some really intelligent viewers.
Well, I didn't say that. I just said good questions.
They're pretty smart. They're really smart. These people that write these questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, hey, if snail mail is not your kind of gig, why don't you email us your Yo Paulie questions to randomesque@gmail.com. That's randomesque@gmail.com. Thank you for sending in those burning questions and giving some burning answers, Paulie. Nice job.
And Yo Paulie thanks you from the bottom of his heart.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we want to thank our sponsors now, Paulie. And we would like to thank the New Jersey Festival Orchestra. Yeah. Please join them for their 2024-2025 concert season. And guess what, Paulie? Their first concert of the season, guess what it's about?
Oh, it's Hollywood Fantasy meets Bruckner's Dreams World.
How did you know that? Wow.
I can read.
Oh, wow. You must be psychic or something.
Psychic, psychotic.
Sidekick.
Sidekick.
Internationally acclaimed virtuoso cellist Momo joins the New Jersey Festival Orchestra to present Tan Zan's award-winning cello concert from Ang Lee's Oscar-winning martial arts film Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, as we celebrate the 200th anniversary of Anton Bruckner's birth. Happy birthday, Bruckner! And this is all taking place on Friday, September 27th at 7 o'clock in St. Helens Church, Westfield, New Jersey.
In beautiful Westfield, New Jersey.
Beautiful. And to get tickets, visit njfestivalorchestra.org. And guess what? We said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Guess what? Guess what happened?
Let's hear it.
We scheduled a random-esque conversation at the Roig Collection Art Gallery with Maestro David Rowe to discuss the New Jersey Festival Orchestra's upcoming season. More to come on that. For now, visit njfestivalorchestra.org. Tickets are on sale now.
Also, I'd really like to speak with him about some of his visions of different music too. I think
absolutely, we have a whole.
Yeah, I think that'd be.
We have a whole plethora of questions to ask.
Fantastic.
Yes, we do. And guess what, Paulie? My wife Barb and I are going to that New Jersey Festival Orchestra concert on September 27th, and we're really looking forward to it.
Yeah, we may if we're in town. I've been to a few of them, and they're
terrific.
They're really enjoyable. We did one we went last year for Mother's Day. It was great.
Yeah, they do a really nice job.
Yeah, they do.
Anyway, we're going to move on to our next sponsor, which is right here. Florham Park Dental Excellence with my partner here, Dr. Paul Banks.
And my motto is, I make smiles that are beautiful and you can see for miles.
That sounds like a Who song. Anyway, you want to visit FlorhamParkDental.com. That's FlorhamParkDental.com for more information. And me, Minuteman Press of Clark, with me, Jim Mooney, and my son, Seamus. We are your branding and printing partners who also created all of this show merch. So the backdrop, the hat, the shirts we're wearing, we do all of that for our clients. And now we're doing it for ourselves too. Right?
And I have to tell you, Jim has made quite a few items for our dental practice, and they're just beautiful.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Really beautiful.
We did those coffee mugs that you handed out.
We did the coffee mugs.
Yeah.
We did the chapsticks.
Yeah, the chapsticks. So if you want to come visit us, go to nj213.minuteman.com. That's nj213.minuteman.com. Thank you. So, we both love to watch old classic films from when we were younger and quote the lines. So, what are your go-to most quoted films and dialogue that you use in your, everyday life?
Well, Animal House is easy. Animal House, and there were plenty of the quotes from Animal House that I do say in my everyday life, but really don't want to repeat them here. So one of my favorites is when Rodney Dangerfield and Wang Chervac and Wang walk into the club, and he says...
Caddyshack?
Caddyshack. He walks in the club and says, Wang, this is a restricted club, so don't tell him you're Jewish. Says, Chinese guy.
Yeah, right.
And the...
I don't know if you could get away with that today.
No, I don't.
But it's a funny line, yeah.
And
great film.
And when they're in the cafeteria and they're all eating food, and Rodney says, this meat still has the marks where the jockey was hitting it.
It's pretty funny stuff.
And one of the funniest, and I use this if we're shopping, I'll say, what a nice hat. If you buy that hat, I bet you get a free bowl of soup. those are
yeah.
And the going down Animal House, when they're showing the new pledges, and the Storker, when he says everyone thought the Storker was brain damaged. When he says,
Storky has one line in the movie. Yeah.
What the hell are we supposed to do, you moron?
Yeah.
And the
that's his only line in the film, right?
It's his only line in the film. And when they're in the court, when there's a trial they're trying to kick Delta out, when Stratton gets up with a medicine bag, and Otter says to him, I thought you were in pre-law. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were in pre-law. I'm in pre-med. Well, what's the difference? Exactly. And if you remember what's in that bag,
right?
You know, and
craziness. Yeah.
And I'll end this with, what's the one with, Show Me the Money.
Yeah. Jerry. What is it? Jerry Maguire. Right, yeah.
When he Show Me the Money, I use that all the time. But these are, one more. When they're in Caddyshack, back to Caddyshack. Geez, there's a common theme here, isn't there?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I'm down to two movies myself.
When Bill Murray is caddying for the priest, and it's pouring out, and he goes, well, the hard stuff is going to come down for some time yet.
Yeah, exactly. It's a Cinderella story.
Cinderella story.
It's great. I had forgotten about that. Yeah, there's some really great lines, but I thought about this topic, and like you, I chose movies, and I also took poetic license, chose one TV show too. But I think about it in terms of my everyday conversation. I don't go out of my way to say some of these movie lines. I just say them because I just like them. Yeah. And they're part of my everyday vernacular as I'm, out and about, during the day.
Do you ever find yourself talking to friends and the entire conversation is based on quotes from movies?
Pretty much, yeah, absolutely. My friends from high school and I would absolutely do that, and we do that we have a Saturday morning Zoom call, standing Zoom call since 2020 that my friend Brian started, and we literally meet every Saturday morning, up to 12 of us on Zoom, from Archbishop Ryan High School for Boys. So shout out to the Ryan Raiders there, 1983.
I forgot the line and used this last week. What kind of man can summon up flame with neither flint nor tinder? I am an enchanter.
Yes.
What is your name, enchanter?
Yes, exactly.
There's some who call me Tim. Monty Python, the Holy Grail.
That's right.
All right, I'm out. Go ahead.
We used that with Tim last week. Yeah,
Yep.
So my two movies, I think my two go-to movies that I use most every day are between My Cousin Vinny and Napoleon Dynamite. I mean,
never saw Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh my God, it is just.
I guess you never saw it.
I actually rewatched it the other night. It's just so.
Is it Johnny Knoxville?
No, it's John Hurd or whatever. There's two Johns in it. They were unknown. The whole cast. It won so many outstanding awards for different.
I have to check it out.
There were all kinds of environmental things. Like it was just incredible. But My Cousin Vinny, for sure. I use this like every day. And it's basically where Vinny and Mona Lisa Vito pull into town, and Vinny's like to her like, you stick out like a sore thumb, and she's like, yeah, Vinny, yeah, you blend, you blend, Vinny. I also know the best line of all time is probably leave the gun, take the cannolis. I think that's a great line. I don't use it all the time, but
Thank God.
Like that line. And I gotta say, so I actually think that Marissa Tomei in that role was phenomenal. Totally deserves supporting actress. And I think, yeah, Vinny, you blend. It's one of the greatest lines of all time. I just think it's the best. Then on TV, I had to go with George Costanza. Was that wrong? Was that wrong? If anyone had told me that was wrong, I certainly would not have done that.
Do you remember the scene?
Oh, yeah. I rewatched it the other night to make sure I was saying it correct. But I say, was that wrong?
The cleaning
every
lady?
Single day. I say, you blend. Was that wrong? I use those literally every day in my conversations. And then, but man, George, the delivery was just perfect. It was unbelievable.
Between him and Kramer, I know we're going off another tangent here, but between him and with Kramer with the physical comedy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just an incredible show that I watch every night here on Channel 11. But Napoleon Dynamite, it's like every day, I say, whatever I want to do, gosh, just like Napoleon Dynamite. And when Kip says to the girl at the front door, your mom goes to college, it's just so stupid. And he's like, Napoleon, I know that you're just jealous that I've been chatting with babes online all day. Besides, we both know I'm training to become a cage fighter.
I gotta watch it. I gotta.
Uncle Rico, if Coach just put me in, we would have won state. Stuff like that. So it's just unbelievable. And then I guess more esoteric of a film, and one of my all-time favorite films, is The Pope of Greenwich Village.
You know how many great actors
came out
of there?
I don't know how Eric Roberts didn't get nominated for that role.
Mickey Rourke was great too.
He was great too. But I used the term wackadoo. Hey Charlie, they took my thumb. What do I look like, Santa Claus? And then I love the line. It's a little bit longer. I mean, I don't go around saying this, but horses can't make themselves better than they are, Charlie. The horse doesn't run the race, Charlie. It's the gene. The gene runs the race. And then when they're talking about the old guy up in the Bronx, and they're like, chimes, Charlie, chimes. Yeah, he does chimes. Chimes.
Did you ever watch the movie Diner?
Yeah, that's a good
Another
film too,
one
yeah.
where all those stars, but
Yeah.
I remember when they were getting married at the end, the organ player didn't play Here Comes the Bride, he played the Colts theme song, Colts fight song.
Oh yeah, the Colts, yeah. And then Waterboy, that's some high quality H2O. This is definitely. And then I think one of the all-time classic scenes is Five Easy Pieces with Jack Nicholson when he's trying to get a side order of toast and he can't get it. And he's basically like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to order
Some
the chicken salad sandwich. You're going to hold the lettuce, hold the tomato. You're going to hold the chicken salad, stick it between your knees, and give me the toast.
Yeah,
that's a classic film. And the funny thing is, that's about a conductor, an orchestra leader. When the movie, because it has such an unusual title called Five Easy Pieces.
But that scene stole the show.
Yeah,
in the diner.
It's unbelievable. So that was fun. Hey, write in your favorite show lines, to randomesk@gmail.com if you have any you want to share with us as well. So thanks. Okay, we would like to introduce Faith Delaney. Woo!
Thank you, guys.
She is the assistant executive director of the Greater Westfield Area Chamber of Commerce. Faith and I have worked together for the last 5+ years, and we've covered various events and fundraisers for the foundation and raising money for high school students' scholarships. Let me tell you a little bit about the Greater Westfield Area Chamber of Commerce. It is a networking organization. It was established over 75 years ago, serving businesses and nonprofit organizations and supporting local economies in Scotch Plains, Fanwood, Garwood, Mountainside, Westfield, and Clark, New Jersey, as well as the Irish Business Association as well. We help make businesses and nonprofits discover new opportunities. We strive to make a difference by making connections that build successful relationship. The Chamber includes more than 480 member businesses and organizations. Join us, and together we can build a stronger community. So I'm going to get into our conversation now with Faith. I'd like to ask some questions. We're going to talk about the chamber here. So, just an overall view. Please provide, Faith, us your perspective on the chamber over the past 6 years that you've worked here.
Okay, great. Well, thank you both so much for
Absolutely.
giving me the
You're
opportunity
welcome.
today.
We're thrilled.
The Chamber's main purpose is basically to promote business opportunities, economic development, and community within our 6 towns that we support. Our current staff includes Lou Kimball, who is our executive director, Charlotte Van Wy, who is our marketing specialist, and Teresa Culkin handles all of our accounting. So we have a wonderful staff. We also are supported by a great board of directors, which is wonderful. I would say the last 6 years we've made a really big push to increase our resources for our chamber members, and also raise the profile of the chamber, which then in turn raises the profile of our members. We've upgraded our marketing efforts with the chamber. We've also partnered with multiple advertising and media sources.
Yes, absolutely.
Which has been amazing for us.
Very much,
Just
yeah,
to bring
that's been
awareness
great.
to the chamber and the members has been amazing.
Absolutely.
For instance, we have a new column this year in Tap Into called Your Local Business Forum, which gives every member the opportunity to write an article. Past articles have been cybersecurity, self-employment and maximizing your website and increasing your online presence. And Jim wrote an article about networking.
I did write an article
fabulous.
about networking. Thank you. I'm actually still trying to write a book about it now. Seamus and I were just talking about that yesterday, so thank you.
You're welcome.
And Tap Into is a hyper-local focused news. It gives you the news here in Westfield or each of the towns that is covered. And, you know, we work really well with Jackie Lieberman here, who owns the Tap Into in Westfield, and you should check that out as well online. It's great information. And you can look at, you know, multiple New Jersey towns. You know, Clark has its own. I live in New Providence. There's one there.
They have it in
as
Florham
well.
Park, where my dental office
They have
is.
it in Florham Park, yeah, where Paul is. So it's just a really good cross promotion of two businesses, the Chamber and, you know, Jackie's business, Tap Into here in the Westfield area. So.
It's great. And along with Tap Into, we also advertise with NJ.com, The Leader, and 07090 Connect Magazine.
Yeah, all great sources here, you know, in and around Westfield. Great, you know, great newspaper with The Leader. They also have The Hawk that covers Union County, so a little bit greater scope there of the greater Union County area. So great partners that we have in all of these resources.
Absolutely. And shortly, we have some exciting news. We're launching a new website for our members, which will
Awesome.
it'll be more user-friendly, have more functionality, and a lot of exciting new features for our members.
And one of our chamber members, Black Cat Web Design, is working with the chamber on that website. So again, you know, it's how business works. You know, we're working with each other. We're using each other's resources to grow our resources and our businesses. So a great partnership that we have there with one of our own chamber members as well. So and that's the fun part. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about, you know, the types of businesses and the nonprofit organizations that belong to the chamber. Because what I'll say is, we are really small business focused. I'm probably, you know, with Minuteman Press Clark, we're a two-man shop. You know, that's basically what this chamber is about. It's really about small business, and they help us tremendously. They're one of our greatest resources for sales as an organization. So anyway, Faith, if you could let us know some of the other types of businesses and nonprofits that we work with.
Sure. We actually have a very diverse range of members within the chamber. We have real estate members, banking, attorneys, retail, health and wellness, home design and improvement, financial services, insurance, technology, nonprofits that assist the disabled population, teaching them life skills and also employment opportunities for them, and also nonprofits that focus on underprivileged youth organizations as well.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of nonprofits. I think one of our larger organizations is the Y here in Westfield, but like it really falls to the smaller side of small business within this chamber, which is terrific for a business like mine. You know, where we're a small family-owned print shop, to have this resource and the ability to network in the 6 towns just south of the 22 corridor, basically here in Union County.
And you know, I'm sorry, Jim. Sorry.
Sure, no, absolutely.
But you know, when you say you're a small business, but you're really not, because all of these businesses, these small businesses are combined, become a big business.
Yeah, no,
because
we have the power of a big
you're
business.
sharing
yeah.
ideas. You're referring. You know, you have a lot of people that you can throw your ideas to, and everyone seems to, from what you have mentioned to me, I haven't joined yet, but that's discussion maybe for later today. I'm not sure, but
Join.
Yeah, I know. We were speaking.
No, I know.
We
I know
spoke
you're
about
going to
that.
join. No, I know. You should. You're part of the community here.
But
Absolutely.
I also think that, like I said, it's a big business comprised of many small businesses.
Yeah, and
that sounds.
The resources are tremendous that we have. Sorry.
That's okay.
We have tremendous resources here from the chamber. And you know what? It's not about the chamber going out and getting your sales. It's you making the most of the chamber. And that's basically the point of view I brought in when I started with the chamber 6.5 years ago. When we first opened up our door here. We opened up in Westfield, and we've since moved to Clark for more of a production facility. But we still have the resources of the chamber there to support us and all of the great networking. In fact, and that's one of the events we have coming up at my shop, and we're going to get into this, but it's on September 12th at 8 in the morning. We have a networking event at our Minuteman Press in Clark. More to come on that as we talk about that in a minute, but yeah, just and it's a lot of fun. You know, there's events in the morning, there's events in the evening. When I break it down, morning events tend to be more business, and evening tends to be more social. You know, folks just want to have a beverage and forget about their day.
Well, it's also, that's exactly right.
They don't want to do business, and that's okay, because you know what, you get to still catch up with clients, and you get to catch up with them socially. The other things, and Faith mentioned this during her comments, is that we have a health and wellness part of the chamber. We have a professional women in business part of the chamber. We have the young professional group in the chamber. So we touch a lot of different groups here, you know, and organizations, and we're trying to help these organizations grow as the chamber grows. You know, we have the 6 towns now, and the Irish Business Association, Clark and IBA came in a few years ago. So moving on, you know, I guess Faith, and I mean, I know the answer to my own question. Don't we always usually know the answer to our own questions? But, you know, do you need to be a member to attend chamber events?
No, absolutely not. I encourage anyone who's interested in the chamber, I always encourage them to come to our events, get a feeling of what our events are like, meet our current members, come 1 or 2 times, see if this is the right fit for you. Hopefully it is. I feel like it would be for all businesses, but I really do encourage people to come first just to try it out. I think it's a great way just to give them a little bit of a show of what we can offer for them. Absolutely.
And, you know, I put this question in here because I really want people to understand, like, the economics of this. This is really not breaking the bank here. The cost is not very high. You know, I think people think it's going to be much higher than it actually is, considering the amount of events and networking opportunities. And you even get an email blast out to complimentary your first one that goes out to 2,000 plus email addresses, unique email addresses within the chamber. But we, you know, so we give the viewers out there in television land, you know, what's the cost, say, for a sole proprietor, so they can get the base cost, or a small business like mine. And I know obviously what the cost is, you know, but I'm in the category of 2 to 5 employees. And how much is it to join the chamber?
Right. So sole proprietor would be $250 per membership year, and a smaller business, 2 to 5 employees, would be $350 for a membership year. But with that, it's not just the membership. You get so many other benefits that come along with it. Like Jim said, complimentary email blast. Another one that I think is fabulous, it's a complimentary email video spotlight blast, where you can put a 1 to 2 minute video about your business.
Let's film one now, Paul.
Yeah.
Let's do that after this. Let's do that.
The monthly networking.
Get ready, Paul.
The monthly networkings. As a member, you come to the breakfast for free, and the happy hours are at a discounted rate, which is great. You can also host an event, which I always say is a wonderful.
That's me.
Exactly, which is a wonderful way to showcase your business. I always think if people can physically see your location, and if they're driving by on their way to work or wherever, it brings more awareness to your business. So it's a really great way to showcase your business.
The other benefit that I get is, being a member, a business in the Greater Westfield Area Chamber of Commerce is I get a unique page on the website, where I can put all my contact and all my higher aspirations of printing in there if I want. No, all the different types of printing that we do, that we have as part of our organization. So it's kind of cool. You get your own website page, a page unique to you, and you can offer a discount or not. It's usually like a 10% discount to GWACC members, which we do honor as part of our membership. So. And I want to get into a little bit more on the foundation side here. And, wow, I got to tell you, we had an event in the spring. I have been to a lot of scholarship dinners because I worked for McDonald's Corporation for 17 years, so I went to a lot of dinners. And this was on par, if not better than some of those. It was just incredible. I mean, any of those dinners are always great, but this one, the Chamber did an incredible job with the event. So why don't you tell us about that event? It was held here at Ferraro's restaurant. I actually ate there last night for dinner. Great restaurant, Italian restaurant here in downtown Westfield. Very, very good food. Excellent.
Sure.
And beautiful people. Antoinette, that oh my God, she is the bar hostess. It's just amazing woman working there at Ferraro's, and certainly part of the fabric of the community. So anyway, that's why we do events with Ferraro's, and why don't you tell a little bit about it?
Sure. Well, just to speak a little bit about our foundation, it's a 501c3 organization dedicated to supporting local nonprofit organizations and providing high school graduating seniors who show academic excellence, leadership positions, and community involvement. We provide scholarships to them. So this past year was our biggest ever. We awarded 10 scholarships, which was wonderful. 7 from Clark, 2 from Westfield, and 1 from a Mountainside resident who goes to Governor Livingston. So we had our first ever scholarship dinner at Ferraro's, and it was amazing.
Incredible, beautiful evening. Very well done.
The scholarship recipients came along with their families. So we were able to celebrate each student's accomplishments, share their success stories with their families and their fellow scholarship recipients. And it was a really great opportunity also for our board of directors who were there.
Absolutely. We had a really nice group of folks there that evening that came out.
Right. So it was a great opportunity for them to interact with these scholarship winners.
Yeah, it was great to talk to the parents. Absolutely.
Yeah, and talk about...
And to hear the aspirations of these, these college students.
Right, and talk about their own businesses and also, the exciting opportunities that await these students at their chosen universities and colleges. So all in all, it was a fantastic night. Our aim is always to be a little bit better than the following year. So our success of this year's scholarship program really sets a new standard for us, and our aim to provide more in the future.
Absolutely.
And am I right to assume that, or am I correct to assume that that's another benefit of joining, by the money that you pay goes towards
right? So
these scholarships?
Yes,
absolutely.
So I mean that's another thing to think about, where your money goes, and I think that's awesome.
And actually, let's. I'm going to use that. That's a great segue into the next question, which is the different events that we have coming up. and we wanted to highlight one that is foundation focused that we have coming up, and I'll let Faith talk about that event coming up here in September on the 18th.
Yes, so we have
Wednesday.
Yes, we have our annual Lindaberry, McCormick, Eastabrook, and Cooper.
You said it all well. Wow.
Who is our?
Wow, that was impressive.
Thank you.
That was very impressive.
They are our title
They're
sponsor.
awesome. Yeah, they're great.
Yes, of our golf outing, which, as Jim mentioned, is on September 18th at GWACC Country Club. Which the entire purpose of that event is to raise funds for our foundation, which again provides scholarships to graduating high school seniors in the 6 towns that we support. And we really encourage golfers and non-golfers to come and attend. We have golf during the day, and then we have our dinner at night.
Yeah, so it's 3 o'clock. You're there. You're registering. 3:30 shotgun start, right? And then you play. It's 9 holes, so it's 9 wine and dine. So you play 9 with in your foursome. Where you sign up for a foursome. We would love it. It helps the foundation, as Faith said. And then afterward, you go in and you wine and you dine at GWACC. GWACC is a beautiful country club in Scotch Plains here in Union County, and we hold this event there every year. It's also in conjunction with the Irish Business Association as well. So, we have a dual event there, and it's it's primarily to raise money for the foundation, but it also lets you get out of work early, get out of jail free, and go play a round of golf with your colleagues, friends, and family, and then have a nice dinner afterward.
Do they have a miniature golf course set up there or no?
They do not have a miniature golf course, because that's probably about your and my speed, right?
Yeah, then I'm just going to wine and dine.
I can't get past that clown. I can't get past the windmill or the clown. On that course. Anyway, I actually don't play. I actually with my friend colleague Tears. She and I are the hole-in-one officiators, so we make sure that people aren't, trying to, put the ball in on their own. No, I'm only kidding. But we do. We do that. So beyond that, we have a pretty big event coming up on the 22nd of September.
We have Festifall coming
We have
up.
Festifall.
Which is another big annual event.
Festifall here in downtown Westfield, right
Yes.
down Center Street.
Yes, Central Avenue.
Central Avenue Street.
So Festifall.
I was
is
just
our-
testing you, Faith.
Yes, I
You
passed.
passed.
Thank God.
You get an A.
So Festifall is our last street fair event of the season. So
for Westfield, because we have one other one in Mountainside as well.
Right. We have our. I was just going to say that. So yeah, Festifall is on September 22nd from 10 a.m. to 5.
And that's very, very family friendly. There's rides, amusements for the kids, right? There's food trucks, right?
Absolutely. And we are thankful for our sponsors too: Adani Property Group.
Yep, Adani. Yep.
Karma of
Know
Westfield.
them well.
Karma of Westfield.
Yep, Karma. Yep, know them well too.
Lindaberry, McCormick,
Know them well,
Eastabrook, and
too.
Cooper, and Dwell, New Jersey.
Dwell, New Jersey. Awesome.
Yes.
No, it's awesome, and it's a lot of fun. And I think there's a beer garden too.
Mm-hmm.
There's a beer garden for the adult of the children.
And we have Dino Arise, so we have some dinosaurs.
Oh, we have Dino, right?
Yes.
All right. No, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's a nice big street festival here in Westfield, so it's a blast. It's fun for everybody. There's something for everyone there. So, and then we have the last event right in Mountainside.
Right. We have a car show coming up in Mountainside in September. So that's another exciting event you don't want to miss.
Yeah, so we have all these great events going on in the chamber, and we'll have other things going into the fall, different events, and we'll end the year in December with our holiday party again, because that's always fun. And so more to come on all of that. But, if you want to check out the Greater Westfield Area Chamber of Commerce. You want to go and visit GWACCNJ.com. That's GWACCNJ.com for more information on events and membership. And before I forget, we have a special thank you present for our friend Faith over here. She gets a random ass podcast candle from Wicked Good Candles. So that's your parting gift.
Well, thank you guys.
Your thank you for being on our podcast and being such a special guest.
Yes, Faith. Thank you. Thank you
we
so
really
much.
appreciate it.
We appreciate
Great
it.
job.
I appreciate it.
Great
Thank
job,
you guys.
Faith. Way to
Thank you
go.
so much.
Awesome. We both grew up in Northeast Philadelphia. I grew up in Tarsdale, Granton Academy. I have to say the intersection. And Paul here, he grew up in Oxford Circle.
That would be Bustleton and Cotman.
Bustleton and Cotman. Okay, there you go. They're pretty big intersections, actually.
They are. You can play Frogger there, too.
I mean, Granton Academy's big, but man,
Yeah.
Bustleton and Cotman, that's a real big intersection. But we've also lived outside of Philly, and we wanted to talk about that. Those places, what are they like culturally, regional differences from, say, Philly, from an entertainment, education, sports, whatever we want to say, just an overall sense and perspective. And, I'll start this one because I definitely have the longer resume on this for sure. I probably have a longer resume on this than most people. So my wife, Barb, and I, we met when we were 18 at St. Joe's, but we are married now 33 years. And so we have moved 17 times in 33 years of marriage. I think our son is about either 13 or 14 of those moves. So you can imagine we've seen a lot. So we've lived in California twice. We've lived in Jersey twice. We've lived in Boston. And obviously multiple times in Philadelphia. But we're going to talk outside of Philadelphia today. So, we lived in San Francisco. We actually lived there twice in the early 90s and then the late 90s to the early 2000s. A total of 6 years. And it's obviously culturally, the weather and the produce are true benefits of the Bay Area. Obviously, housing is astronomical. I know when we lived there, I heard a stat at the time, and I'm sure it's probably beyond this, only 19% of the people living in the Bay Area could actually afford to buy a home. But the great thing is, with that price of homes, you have a lot more outdoor activities that are free, year round. You can hike, you can bike, you can surf, you can run, you can fish, all kinds of activities, and it goes year round because the weather is so moderate, not like here in the Northeast. And again, the produce is amazing. We lived in a small farming community outside of San Francisco on the other side of Mount Diablo called Brentwood, California. It is not the LA Brentwood, believe me. It was a small farming community. So a shout out to my Brentwood peeps, Dan, Harry, and Deb out there listening. And they had this Brentwood corn, I swear rivals Jersey corn, and it actually might even be better.
Was it white?
It was. They had all, and they were like, my neighbor would sell it on the corner, like as a side gig, basically. And there were 20 varieties of this corn. I couldn't even go through them all.
That's interesting.
Yeah, he took me through it one day, and each harvest was a different type of this corn, and it was branded as Brentwood corn, and it was well known. And they had the corn festival. I don't know that they hold that anymore, but they celebrated corn. And in fact, like Barb and I went out to Stockton, California for the asparagus festival, which I absolutely love. But I got to tell you, the urinals kind of smelled a little funny of that asparagus stuff going on.
I'm a recent appreciate. I appreciate. Well, that's not the right. I just got into asparagus recently. Never really liked it.
I literally make asparagus. If I'm barbecuing, I make it every night. The other thing that my friend Danny taught me is spinach on the grill. So get your notebooks out on this one, folks. Basically what I do is I take, spinach and I put it, say, in a Ziploc bag, and then you put kosher salt and red pepper flakes on it, and you kind of mix that around. Then you put olive oil on the spinach, and let it marinate for a little while. Then you buy one of those vegetable trays that the manufacturers make, and you put the spinach in the vegetable tray, and you just keep turning it until it breaks down into unbelievable, it's almost like sautéed spinach.
And you know what? I make something similar to that with kale. I haven't done it in a while, but we use tomato paste in it. With paprika. And
wow! I bet that's good.
Yeah.
But these are things, culturally we learned in California, and the Mexican food is outstanding. Obviously, the burritos were just incredible.
Was that more Southern California?
No, it was Northern too.
Because I would figure
it was all over. Yeah, no, it was very. It was. Every restaurant was incredible. You can talk. You should talk a little bit about where you've been, Paulie.
Well, haven't been many places outside of Philadelphia. I lived in Washington D.C. for 8 years, where I did my undergraduate and dental school, and also, and other than that, North Jersey. What I find then, we were talking about differences, but I think that, with similarities, these three areas, one thing I appreciated about Philadelphia growing up there was the history. And then living in Washington, D.C., you get a further appreciation of history. And even up here, you've got New York City, although we don't live in New York City. Those are the similarities. The differences are, other than Jim's beloved Yankees, I cannot stand the New York sports teams. I love my Philadelphia teams. Washington, I have a soft spot because I live there, and not big
come
fan
on,
of
give it up.
sports teams.
Who's your American League team? You got to give it up now.
Baltimore Orioles.
See, folks, he likes other teams too.
But
It's not just me with the Yankees.
But
I'm glad you
if
finally
the
fessed
Phillies,
up.
But if the Phillies play the Orioles in the World Series,
right.
I root for the Phillies.
Yeah, I got you.
When I was living in D.C. in dental school, we had a group of us that got partial season ticket plan, 10 games, whatever, to the Orioles. We would drive to Baltimore, Sunday plan.
No, it's a great stadium.
No, that was before Camden Yards.
Oh, so that was
Memorial Stadium.
Oh, wow. I never went to Memorial Stadium.
Yeah, so
because Barb used to live in Maryland as well.
Yeah, and so that's it. The my overall sense is cost of living. I found that Philadelphia is the cheapest of those three. Three areas. You can park overnight for $15. In New York City, you park for 15 minutes for $15. And I love what they do. It's like it's $8 for the first 30 minutes.
I know.
And then after that, it's $72.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is nuts. But I do love living back here in New Jersey because we are closer to family. When you live out in San Francisco and you're the farthest point of your family, it is difficult. You have to really build up a network of friends and community.
Well, that was a big reason. I mean,
Yeah.
I could have gone to dental school in California. I was accepted to a school out there, and when I thought about it, I realized that really, I would just be too far from home.
So, yeah, I like being here in New Jersey and access to New York and Philly. And I also have family all over in Scotland. And so shout out to the Moonies, the Burnses, and the Ramseys.
Well, my
father's son and I visited them in 2016, and what a blast. And the coolest thing about, and we're getting on a random topic here, but being on Facebook, I'm in all of their lives. They're in all of my life, and that we know what each other's doing because of Facebook. So we keep in touch, and then they come visit us in the U.S., and we're hoping to go back and visit them in Glasgow, Scotland, as well. So
yeah, my family. I have my sister, brother-in-law, niece live in Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to Debbie, Tim, and Robin. And my sister and brother-in-law live in Vancouver, British Columbia. Shout out to Andrew and Anthony.
yep.
So at some point we'll visit more. We'll go out to Vancouver. Not been there yet. My sister lived in
Vancouver, Canada?
Yeah.
Oh
British
my God,
Columbia.
it's beautiful.
They have lived in
That
Toronto.
is one of the prettiest places I've ever been.
They've lived in Toronto. They lived in Calgary. They lived in Vancouver. They've dual citizenship. And but like I said, I mean, for me, and since you're all over the map, so literally all over the map. Whereas I really haven't. So you have more of you can have more of a discussion with this than I can.
I could literally do an entire show on it, but I'm going to diminish that.
Although I will tell you, and not anymore, but the big distinction when I was growing up was now they're all over the place. They're nationwide. They may be worldwide. For a time, Tasty Cake was only in Philadelphia.
And that's because Safeway and Acme, I believe, have combined. So you're getting, you have a distribution system now.
And Frank's Sodas.
Black
Cherry Wish Stick, man.
Is it Frank's?
Thanks.
But one last town that I want to talk about. This was the last place we lived before we moved back to New Jersey. And that's Boston. It's just cold and very hot this summer. And there was an interesting occurrence, and Paul can relate to this as well. Spring doesn't occur there. You don't start to see anything bloom until almost May or into May. It literally goes from winter to summer, like overnight. It's crazy. But like growing up in Philly and living in Philadelphia, everything bloomed come the end of March. It started blooming. You had the flowers, the trees. And in Boston, that did not occur until into May. And that was mind-boggling to me.
And this is something I forgot to mention. Washington, D.C., compared to Philadelphia, New Jersey, gets so darn hot and humid in the summer.
Oh, yeah, it's really humid.
It is so absolutely miserable. When I think it was my junior year of undergrad at GW, they never really got snow. We had a snowstorm. By their definition, it was 4 inches of snow. Classes were canceled. They didn't know what to do. Of course, now with the climate change, it's a lot different. But that was the humidity and the heat in Washington D.C. is just it's horrible.
I got to tell you, and I didn't live in D.C., did live in Boston, but I got to tell you the similarity between those two towns. They are the two towns I get lost in the most. I cannot figure out the streets in either Boston or D.C. I don't know why. I don't know why in D.C. I know in Boston.
Well, Boston has all those
it's all circular,
rotaries, rotaries.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, and even GPS gets messed up. It's unbelievable, like how lost you can get.
I could see
in those two towns.
I could see how. I mean, I don't have the experience in Boston.
I think we're used to grids. Like Philly's kind of gritty, and New York's definitely a grid.
DC is not a grid.
No, it's not.
But parts of it are. But you go into like towns like Adams Morgan, where you really driving around there. If you don't know the area, it can become very frustrating.
Yeah, no, it is frustrating in those two towns. And I have a really good sense of direction. In those two towns, I don't know what happens to my direction. The other weird thing about living on the West Coast is east and west is messed up to me because I'm used to the shore being, to the east.
Down the shore?
Down the shore. Across the shore. But out there, it's to the left. And then the other thing, because you're 3 hours behind, I always felt like in San Francisco, I was 3 hours behind the world. Even getting up at 6 a.m, I felt like, I'm 3 hours behind. It's weird. You don't lose that internal clock from the East Coast.
Yeah, but Monday Night Football, you're not up till 1 in
No,
the
you're
morning.
not. And the interesting thing is, if it's a 1 o'clock start on the East Coast, it's 10 a.m. in the morning, and you're having mimosas and hanging out with friends.
You know, what's interesting...
It's quite different.
Yeah, and one more thing for that is, this is years ago, my kids were like, must be weird living out west, you know, when the football games come on at 10 and 1 o'clock. And I said, yeah, that's kind of like us sitting on the sofa at 7:30 in the morning watching soccer from England.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
It's
the same dynamic. So, anyway, that's what we see. You know, cultural differences. You know, between the different places outside of Philadelphia.
You win that topic.
Of course, it was a gimme. You know,
Yeah.
We got a topic coming from up for you in a later show that is. It's a perfect. You'll win that topic hands down. I can't even compete. So, but we'll let you.
Is it how many handsome features they have?
It does. Yeah, it talks about how you're eye candy. Yeah. Okay, so we want to thank again the Greater Westfield Area Chamber of Commerce for hosting us this afternoon. Please visit them at GWACCNJ.com. That's GWACCNJ.com for more information on events and membership. And remember, we have that great golf outing coming up on the 18th of September at Shakamatson Country Club, the 9 Wine and Dine, starting at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. And again, the New Jersey Festival Orchestra and their first concert taking place on Friday, September 27th at 7 o'clock in St. Helens Church here in Westfield. To get tickets, visit njfestivalorchestra.org. And remember that we scheduled a random-esque conversation at the Royd Collection Art Gallery with Maestro David Rowe to discuss the New Jersey Festival Orchestra's upcoming season. More to come on that. For now, visit njfestivalorchestra.org. Tickets are on sale. And Florham Park Dental Excellence with my partner here, Dr. Paul Banks. Visit them at florhamparkdental.com. That's florhamparkdental.com for more information. And me, Jim Mooney, Minuteman Press Clark, and my son, Seamus. We're your branding and printing partners. And remember, we print all the merch and backdrop and the candle that you saw. We gave to our guest, Faith Delaney, as well. Visit us at nj213.minuteman.com. That's nj213.minuteman.com. And remember, we have a networking event coming up on September 12th with the Greater Westfield Area Chamber of Commerce at our shop at 8 o'clock till 9:30 in the morning. It'll be a great networking event. And to our Random S team, we can't do it without them and their help.
Our fantastic.
Oh, our fantastic Random S team.
Use the adjectives like you learned at Ryan.
Okay. I did learn them at Ryan. We'd like to thank team producer Ange Mooney, production and editing, as we've been talking about, Bridget Hanlon, and executive producer Seamus Mooney. And you can catch us on Spotify. And for us, Jim and Paul, where we say, hey, randummies, always stay random-esque. It was very random meeting you, and now you're part of our lives.
The random family.
The random family. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
See you next time.
Thanks
you
for
all.
tuning in.
Have a topic you would like the Random-esque podcast to discuss randomly? Please email us at randomesque@gmail.com. That's RANDUMBESQUE@gmail.com. This has been the Random-esque podcast produced by Moonrock LLC. And remember, always stay random-esque.